What's good, everybody? Injured here. Going to be giving you another VOD review. This time we're going to be focusing specifically on the laning phase. So I told you before that I'm really trying to focus on my creep score, and in this game we're going to just talk about the laning phase and specifically try to highlight how much creep last hits I miss. So if you remember, the whole point of this YouTube channel is becoming how to level up by using coaching techniques that I've learned by becoming a certified growth coach and applying them to video games. And so how do we do that? Again, we use three main questions. These three main questions are: what happened, a factual recount of what happened; what did you learn? So that's basically, what did you learn from that factual recount and what happened? What are you going to do different? Because you need to identify how to change what you're doing so that way you don't just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. So, like I said, we're just going to do the laning phase this game, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and once we get started, I'm going to try to be really nitpicky with this too, because it's all about maximizing this laning phase. So I'm going against an Ari. I mean, it's a free auto attack, don't really need to take that, but just one auto attack I guess is not a big deal right now. And one of the things I remember thinking in this is that Ari's going to want to push. She's going to want to use her Q to hit minions and hit me, and so I want to try to avoid that. And if I remember correctly, like right there, yeah, I knew it was coming. Taking another auto attack. I've taken a bit of poke that I haven't really needed to, but I do clean up that CS there. We talked about prioritizing CS in this video. Oh, there's another trade right there I take too. What I'm considering it is if I make a really bad decision and I lose CS because of it, or if something's under tower and I miss it. So like, I will count that one. I will be adding a CS missing counter and money counter eventually too. So I'm going to do that in post. So we're not going to be counting them live, but try to pay attention to it and we will see how it goes. And see, unfortunately, I think I missed like 4, I don't know if it was exactly 4, but about 4 creep there. And so the reason we're talking about that is I feel like a lot of times I have the opinion that getting kills is the way to win games. And really, it's about making the most gold to make yourself the most powerful. And creeping is, I think, a much more profitable and consistent way of doing that. So I do lose that cannon there, but I avoid getting ganked. I think that's worth it. I think not getting killed is worth missing a creep or so. So kind of back. Ari did a little roam. I basically just stayed alive. And if you take a look real quick here, it's 8 to 10 creep, which is actually not good, because if you think about it, she was gone for a good like 15-20 seconds, and now I'm gone again. So I'm coming over here to try to help with this gank. I do dodge that E. I knew she was probably going to throw that. Get a nice electrocute proc. Get her flash here, which is actually really good, and then come back to lane. And I knew I was making a huge mistake when I did what's coming up here, guys. I knew walking in, I knew I could get hit by a charm, but in my mind, I was like, oh, my E will be off cooldown by then, and it wasn't. So don't get lazy. Look at that, guys. I took 2 tower shots, the ignite. I'm so lucky I didn't die. And now I have completely thrown the lead that I just gave myself on her, and it's little mistakes like that that are going to make you continue to lose games. And so I'm not saying I'm completely out of this game, because I'm not, but imagine if I would have had full health here and I'd be able to actually like trade with her and not worry about dying. Thankfully, my jungle comes, gets a little poke in here, and you see like there's another creep that I missed. It's just, that's the kind of stuff, like it adds up. Melee creep is worth 21. I think a range creep is worth 17 or 14, and then cannon is worth almost 70. So when you think about that, like, it's so important to get those. So kind of back again to that laning phase. I'm trying not to get queued while getting creep, because I don't want her to push and do damage to me. Like, that's the big thing. When you have a champion, when you're facing a champion that has really good wave clear like that's your main goal, is to not let them do both objectives at once. And I get a really nice trade there where I proc my electrocute and I basically took nothing. And so if you see here, she's trying to back. I heard her trying to back. And in my mind, I was like, ooh, do I want like to try to make her say, do I not? I don't know. I kind of wanted to back. So what I decided was I'm going to let her just back. But you see in the process, I missed at least 1 creep there. And so I do get this pushed in. There's another creep I missed. And then I'm going to back. So I know this doesn't seem like a big deal, But again, like once I get these counters going in the post-production, we'll really take a look and see how much money I missed in this laning phase. And just so you know, I'm considering laning phase right now. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could probably identify it, but I'm going to do just the first 14 minutes of the game, because in the first 14 minutes of the game is when the plating goes away. So that's what I decided to do for this video, and we'll continue to take a look. So I do catch the wave, auto attack that, and if I wouldn't have, I could have got that creep. So that's another one that's missed. So I see I'm being patient here. Part of the reason I'm being patient is because I want her creep to kill as much of my creep without her being there, because that's going to deny her CS. So that was my plan. I do a good job here of actually picking up a lot of these creep under tower. It can be a little difficult for Katarina, and we'll see how I finish this up here. Get that. Ooh, I got them all. So that was actually pretty good. Let's take a look at how our CS is now. So I'm up 1 CS. The wave is even. I'm up 1 CS, so that's not bad. And then, if I remember, I do make a pretty bad mistake. Oh, no, I don't think it's here. But if you think about it, like, I'm waiting to see if I want to engage on this gank. Like, it's really hard. He gets caught, so by then, I basically know the engage is over. And you see, we're both missing creep over there. So since we're both missing creep, it's not that big of a deal. But I probably should have just stayed, because as soon as my jungle got picked, that basically ended what we were doing there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, does she go bottom here? Oh, no, she's right here. Okay, so I couldn't remember if I was going to push or not. I probably shouldn't have been pushing at all. I missed the cannon there. That was really big. Again, cannon is worth like 65, 66. I can't remember. That is, what, like 3 or 4 melee creeps? 3, and then quite a few range creeps. So do not want to miss that. But I pushed the creep under tower. You can see that there. So she's trying to clean that up. And then I go for a roam. In my previous videos, I talked about how I haven't been taking the best opportunities to roam. I see that they are pushed up very far. And if you see, I came through the brush here, and then I took a different angle. That was where I was messing up on my roams before. And so I took a better angle to cut them off. I do hit the Q-Alt combo. She does not get away because that final auto attack. And we do end up picking the double kill here because Jhin does a great job sniping her. So I'm falling back. I'm going to recall. I do end up missing some creep here, obviously, because it's getting pushed. And I think because you pulled off a successful roam, I wouldn't necessarily count that against me. And we'll see how much I end up actually losing. So there's 1, 2, 3. Wow, it's actually quite a bit. 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 creep that I ended up missing just in that little shot. I'm pretty sure I missed more than that, which is a bit of a bummer. So what is that? That's probably like on average maybe 16, 17 gold. We're looking at almost 100 gold I missed there. Is that worth getting a kill? I think a kill is between 100 and 200 gold. It depends. You could argue, I think, either way, because I also miss a lot of experience, because creep give more experience in the beginning than do the champion kills. So it's probably a wash, but there's a lot of factors you got to think about. Like, I'm helping bot lane get caught up when they were losing. I mean, there's a lot of other things. So I just know I want to avoid. Yeah, I knew that charm was going to be coming, so I was trying to avoid that. That's probably a creep I could have got if I would have played that better. And then I think I come up here for a gank. Yeah, so my teammate does grab the rift. We end up coming up here, and I don't know if this was worth. Like, we'll have to see. Because she ends up getting a lot of plays if you keep an eye on her here. I do slow him so he couldn't get super far away. I'm just trying to get us not double stunned. That's why I was kind of like moving weird. And then I engage hard after they engage onto my jungle. So we get the one. We actually have him here with the other blade, but he ends up ulting to get the kill, which is okay. And I end up pushing to try to get under tower. And the reason I did that is because you see how much pressure she's putting on tower. Again, lots and lots of creep getting lost here. I do pick up some here. So I'm not going to count the ones in my lane against me. And then I'm thinking, man, I have got to get some of these plates here, because all of this that she is getting, like, she's getting so many plates. So that is not good. But I do leave these creep. Like, I could have just stole those pretty easily, but I do want my Nasus to get stacked. So I decide to leave, and I end up coming middle. So I think she just gets out of here if I'm not mistaken. Oh, so this is a really nice play by me, actually. I remember coming in here and then purposely juking that, and I was pretty happy. Oh, and then I think I make a really big misplay here. I'm duoing with the jungle again, and I remember calling him to, like, come, and he decided to stay in lane there, which is a bit of a bummer. I think if he would have got here quicker, we could have actually done something, but it's okay. Not a big deal. But the problem is Swain here comes and walks in and face checks this guy. And so my thought is, oh, he just used all his spells. Like, maybe we can get it. I get rooted. And then I should have jumped out, but I jumped back in because I wanted to try to get a kill. And I gave up a bunch of gold there. So that was really bad. Like, really, really bad. I should have just realized my jungle wasn't going to come, even though it's like pinging and stuff, and then just backed off. Because remember, like, we always say you can only control yourself. You can't control what other people are doing, so we have to adjust to what others are doing. Now that, I shouldn't have ate that E and eaten all of that, but I do pick up a lot of the creep, and you see, basically got almost all of the plates, all but one. So how are we doing on CS here? It's 64 to 64, so again, we are exactly even. I'm involved in 4 kills. She's involved in 3, so again, very, very even. And just trying to clean up some of these creep here. We are getting close to that 14-minute mark, but I've already made 2 really big mistakes to die, and I've missed a lot of creep. I'm actually looking forward to see how much creep I missed that actually should have been fairly easy for me to get, but we will see. So I think I end up pushing this in because I think her mana was low, and so I was thinking she was going to back. You can see there's a couple more creep there that I do end up missing. And I end up missing the 1 melee. And now my thought is, I've missed so many plates here. I want to try to get as many plates as I can. Or rather, she had gotten so many plates that I want to try to get plates. And so this is a really good play here. I end up getting 2 plates. We deny the cannon. And that is definitely going to help get me ahead there. I am finally a little bit ahead on creep. And that is basically it. By the time I recall and come back, it's going to be the 14 minutes. So we're about even in creep. She did clean up that wave. I'm a little bit ahead in kill participation, but she's way ahead in plate. So I think she's ahead in gold. And I bet there's a lot of creep I missed that I could have got that would have kept me ahead. We actually end up doing fairly well in this game towards the end. But again, this was specifically about the laning phase. So I wanted to show how little mistakes in the laning phase can really shut down your game. So what did I notice? I noticed that I engaged in kills or trying to get kills that I really shouldn't have tried to. And I need to play more conservative when I realize I'm in a very bad position. Next, I realized that there's a lot of creep I can miss. That I can get that I miss. And if you notice that, I should have definitely used my slow before I ulted and she would have taken more damage. So there's always things you can look at, you can learn, and you can improve on. And that's what I want us to do. And remember, what happened, what did you learn, and what do you do different? And you will climb. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Leave a like. Let me know what is the biggest thing you need to work on. I appreciate it. You have a good day.